All right, so good evening, everyone. Welcome all of you. I welcome you guys into this complete basics and data structures and algorithm program in under 4 months, starting from scratch. Right. So basically, this program is going to be in three different languages. Means you guys can choose either of the three languages, that is C++, Java, or Python, and you will be continuing the whole program, like completing whole DSA in those particular selected languages. Right. So let's go ahead with it. So, firstly, a little bit about me. My name is Himanshu Agarkar, and currently I am a computer science student at Indian Institute of Information Technology in Nagpur. And I am like managing this community, the whole community, DevCrusade, and I am also vice chair at ACM. And if you guys know about ACM, it's Association of Computing Machinery, and it's actually world's largest computing and scientific society. Right. So I am also SQL trainer at Fireblaze AI School. Also, I have like interest in the domains of data engineering and data science. Right. So actually, this is a screenshot of my LinkedIn profile. So if you guys are interested in like following me, so I actually share like intuitive posts about DSA and Stack and all other stuff on my LinkedIn. So if you guys are interested in following me, you can of course search my profile on LinkedIn, or I'll share you the links later. Right. So let's go ahead now, DevCrusade. So actually, this community I started in like last month. 5th of February was the commencement day of this community. And if you guys know, the meaning of crusade is a long and determined attempt to achieve something that you believe in strongly. Right. And dev is, of course, developers. Right. So we all are developers and we have to achieve something, that is we have to gain proficiency in data structures and algorithm, which is basically very important to get into big tech companies like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and all, right? So, and of course this is a long and determined attempt because it's not a work of just 1 or 2 days. It takes a lot of time and lot of efforts, right? So like moving ahead, so actually, this is again the screenshot of LinkedIn page of DevCrusade, and you can of course find this in on the LinkedIn itself. So I will do one thing. I will okay. So all right. So this is going out of presentations. Okay. Okay. So I will do one thing. I will share the links later in the chat box, and of course you guys can access them. Right. So okay, good. We are up and running here. I will just share this directly so that you guys can check out our community LinkedIn page, right? So, yes, now we can go ahead. Yeah, and a little bit, a short thing which I would like to tell about DevCrusade, that it's a community which promotes self-study and which gives software developers a roadmap to achieve expertise in their interested domain through collaborative learning. Okay, and also uh, previously we started with a batch, a program which is month stack in under 8 months, right? So we have already completed 1 month of that program, and now we are starting with DSA. And in the meantime, in future, we are going to have different batches for like in the domains of SQL, blockchain, data science, and all. Right. So I want you guys to like stay tuned and stay with me. Okay, so now let's come to the important part of this session, important discussion, right? So the perks which you are going to get after you complete 4 months into this program is like first one is of course completion certificate from DevCrusade, and we will of course be having like keeping a track of all of you guys. It will only be issued to only those of you who are actually following the complete program and completing all the modules, right? And second one is we are aiming to complete 150 plus lead code questions. So if you guys don't know about lead code yet, it's not an issue. We are going to have in detail, in-depth discussion about that in future, right? So it's basically a coding platform where we like software developers can practice DSA stuff and all, right? And it's actually a pretty famous one, and the other ones being CodeChef, Code Forces, and all. So actually, we are going to concentrate or focus on lead code. You can even have like practice. You can even practice on those other platforms. It's not an issue. But in this particular program, we are going to focus on lead code, right? So next we have couple of next we have topics, DSA topics which we are going to cover. We will be starting from arrays, string, linked list, searching algorithms and all, and till the end, till the most complex thing, that is backtracking algorithm and dynamic programming, right? So DP, that is dynamic programming, is the one of the most asked questions or topics in interviews of the Mang companies, right? So Mang is nothing but Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So it's just a layman phrase for that, right? So yeah, along with DP, we have graph and tree data structures, which are again very much popular. But of course, we are going to start with basics. We will be starting with the complete basics of the programming language, whatever you are going to choose. It can be either C++, Java, or Python, and we will be discussing in the meantime or in like couple of minutes that how you have to choose your language. Right, so these are the main topics. We will be going uh, deep into these topics later, right? So let's move ahead. Right, so yeah, most important thing, which language to choose, right? So firstly, it totally depends on you, right? We people or whatever you are going to read on Google, that which language you have to choose and all, it will be just like an inspiration or something which you will be using to choose your own language. So I will tell you guys that there might be some people in this group or in this community right now who have already chosen or practicing in particular language. Like there can be few people who have already started coding in languages like C++, Java, or Python. So if you have already chosen the language, it's not an issue. It's very good. You can go with the same language throughout the program. But if you have not chosen, I will suggest you guys that you guys can go with Java, right? So the reason being for choosing Java is because it's sort of an universal language, right? If like I want to tell you a little bit more details about this, is because you can of course do basic coding and complete DSA in Java. Then the second usefulness of Java is it is also used in web development. There is a framework of Java, that is Spring Boot, which is actively used in the domain of web development. Another reason of using Java is if you know that Java is very much used for creating GUIs, that is graphical user interfaces, and also it is like it was previously used to build mobile apps, right? Android apps. So it was previously used to build that. Now we have Kotlin, which is used on the top of Java to build Android apps, which is again a famous one, right? So of course you can go with Java. There are number of things. In just in one shot, you are going to have multiple targets if you go for Java. And of course, this is just a suggestion. I will tell you guys that in the first weeks or two, you can just like uh, have a pretty, you can just research a few things about that, which language you can use, or you can just go a little bit into depth of every language, like try coding in each language, and whichever suits you the most, you can go with that. So now I will do one thing, that I will share the Telegram link here, because those of you who have not joined Telegram yet, I want you guys to join that, because we are having the complete community on Telegram. Like you guys are part of DSA program, right? So there are various people who are part of other programs like Stack, or the programs which are coming in future like SQL and all. So we all are going to be on one single platform, right? So I will share the link in chat box. I want you guys to just go there, and you can join the Telegram group, right? So we will do one thing here. I'm just editing this link a little bit. Okay, so this will work. Okay, now I want you guys that if you are with me till now and you have understood whatever I told you guys till now, I want you guys to type yes in the chat box right now. I'm waiting for you guys, so you guys can type yes or we are good to go or something in the chat box. So like there is a like a little delay actually in the streaming and whatever is going live. I think that it's 10 to 15 seconds. So I want you guys to wait a little bit if my response is coming late, right? All right, all right. So we are getting the response. I will tell you guys that whatever links I've shared, first one is of DevCrusade's LinkedIn. I want you guys to follow the LinkedIn page. And second one is the Telegram group. I want you guys to join the Telegram group, right? So till now we have done the discussion of which language to choose. So I already told you guys that you can go with your like pre-chosen, if that is the word, language, or you can go with Java. And it's of course not an issue if you want to start with any language which is other than Java, like a C++ or Python. So it's not an issue. All right, so moving ahead, now let's come to the like another important topic, that is program flow. How we are going to learn all the things and do like complete all the modules, right? So what we are going to do is from Monday, I think that we can start from Monday. So from Monday, we will start with the program. So actually, what I will do is we are already having a lot of content on like learning programming basics or even till advanced DSA, right? We are having that content on YouTube itself. So what I will be doing is I will be sharing with you guys certain videos or certain playlist and all, and I'm going to give you guys deadline. So for example, if I share you a video of we can say Code with Harry. So if you don't know about Code with Harry, it's not an issue. We will like he's an actually YouTuber who creates content related to software development, right? So if I share you a video of Code with Harry, which is basics of C or C++, whatever it may be. So and consider that it's of 8 hours, then what I will do is I will give you we will break down that video. And on Monday when I will share you the video, I will say that you have to complete first hour of this video by day after tomorrow, right? So we will be having specific time which you have to complete of the video in specific number of days. So the number of days won't be more, it will be just one or two, so that you guys will remain consistent throughout the program. And the most important or advantageous thing about this particular thing is that setting deadline, like I'm going to set deadlines for you, right? So you will be obliged to do that or complete that particular task, right? So it's very much important. And following the deadlines and all, you guys are going to go throughout the 4 months. And if you guys consistently stay with me for the whole 4 months, you will be on a completely different level or different you know whatever as compared to whatever you are or whatever you uh, are where right now, right? So we can move ahead. I think that you guys have pretty much understood. And of course, we are going to have different modules. The first one being basics. So I will share YouTube videos of all the three languages, that is Java, Python, and C++, and I will give you deadlines. And you guys can follow whichever language you want. The first month, we will like in the first week, we can keep the first week as buffer so that you can try different languages and choose up whatever you wish to. And then the rest of the program, you can do that rest of the program you can do in that particular language, right? So that's how we are going to do. I'm not actually going to personally teach you anything because there is already a lot of content available on YouTube. So we are just going to use that along the way. And yeah, and just like that, we are going to cover DSA and all the advanced topics in DSA also. Okay, so I think that you guys have pretty much understood the program flow, and even if you have not, from Monday we will be starting. So you guys will understand along the way whatever I mean to say. Like you guys will be doing that, doing all the coding and all. And of course, this is completely hands-on because all the YouTubers which I will be sharing with you, so their videos are of course completely hands-on, and even the coding is of course totally hands-on, right? So there is nothing like 100% theory. There is 80% practical things which we have to do there are, and 20% like little bit theoretical things. Okay, so second one being the next part being how to maintain consistency. So before that, if you guys have completely or even 80% understood the program flow, I want you guys to type yes, or you can type let's go in the chat box. All right, I'm waiting. You can type let's go. Yes, guys, I'm waiting because I want confirmation from you guys. Okay, so you can type let's go and we can go ahead. Okay, good. So, as I told you earlier, that there is a little bit delay, so that might actually annoy us, but no problem. All right. So we were on how to maintain consistency, right? So what we are going to do actually is there, like for 3 to 4 years, I have been in the phase of learning things in software development or software engineering field. So I have understood one thing, that while we are coding or while we are practicing DSA, it is very, very important to have pen and paper work. Okay. So what we have to do is we are going to have one like notebook, a notebook which will be completely new, and it will be actually a register with over, I think you can have of 200 pages and all, and a pen, right? So you always have to have your pen and notebook whenever you are going to sit for like learning stuff in this programming basics and DSA program, right? So what you are going to do is, let's consider there is a question which is coming up on the screen, or a question you are going to attempt in platforms like lead code. So you just have to like visualize whatever that question is saying, and you have to write whatever you have visualized in your notebook, right? So you have to firstly give the question number, whatever it may be, and then you don't have to write the question, you can just give the question number, which is actually that question number remains same all the time on lead code platform. For example, if there is a question 69 which you are solving, okay, so 69 I have solved previously, like in the morning. So that's what came in my mind right now. Okay. So if you are solving question number 69, so you can just give question number 69 lead code, and then you can write whatever algorithm which is coming into your mind or whatever thing you will be visualizing, right? And along the way, in the same question, you can write a couple of things more. That is, there will be one, uh, you know, one solution which won't be much optimized. So this is a little bit technical terms I'm talking about, but you will get an understanding of this later when we are going through the program. Okay. So you can firstly write the brute force approach, whatever it may be, or write a basic algorithm for that. And then second one, you are going to write an optimized approach for your solution. So there are these two to three things which you have to actually write in your notebook. Okay, so I want you guys to do that, and whatever question you are solving, make sure that you have at least written something about it in your notebook. Okay, and after 4 months, I'm pretty sure that your 200 pages notebook will actually be completely filled, and you will have to have a new notebook for DSA. Okay, because it's actually very very much important, and there are a number of advantages of doing that. First one being, you will along the way, when like 1 month down the line, you will see that, oh my god, I have already solved 100 questions, or I have already solved 50 questions, or whatever number of questions, or I have already completed this topic. Okay, so you will have like that motivation to go along. And second advantage is that whenever you are going to apply for any company or prepare for any interviews, you don't have to actually, I mean, you won't forget the things, right? Because you have already written, you can just go through those written things, then you will be clear whatever you want to do, okay, or whatever that question solution may be. So that's what it is. So this is how we are going to maintain consistency. And one more thing I will tell you guys is, if you are like, you guys will be starting with coding, or basically coding for software, you know, what we can say, developments and all. So you guys are going to code, and also you guys are going to have DSA practice on daily basis. Of course, you can have like Sunday off or Saturday off, whatever you want, or you can even utilize all the 7 days in a week. So what I want you guys is, you whatever, like, this is just a suggestion, this is actually what I use. So whenever I sit for studying or whatever I want to do, it can be studying for a subject of college, or studying or like coding. Okay, so what I do is, actually I set a timer of 1 hour, and I completely forget about the time during that 1 hour, and I completely focus on whatever I'm doing. So when the timer, like, it ends, then I can stop with my work, and I can go with the other work, or whatever other work which I have. So I use that technique actually to do multiple tasks in a day, and it actually makes it easy to break down doing various different things in a day. Okay, so you guys can also do that. You can start with 1 hour timer from the first day, that is from Monday, or if you guys are not having that much motivation, you can even start with 30 minutes, and then you can gradually increase that up to 2 hours or 3 hours, 1 month down the line, right? So that is actually a trick. You can either use it, or you can have your own ways of doing things, right? So let's move ahead. Okay, so eligibility of certification. So of course, as I told you, we are going to break down this particular program in like different modules. First one being the programming basics. So in programming basics, there won't be like very high level questions, because it's just basics, right? So there can be things or topics like having practicing syntax, or practicing syntax for loops and all, or there can be different topics like using functions and all. So what you have to do is, you have to at least write something about that in your notebook. Okay, and after completing the programming basics module, I will float a Google form, and you have to upload the pics of your whatever you have written in your notebook. Okay, so you have to make a PDF, which can be whatever pages it will be actually, and you can upload that, and I will like have a look at them. And if I find that you have actually done something, or given your time for that particular work, then you will of course get the certification. So this is for programming basics thing. Then we are after that we are going to like towards the DSA portion. Then of course there will be another certificate for that module also. Okay, and one more thing I would like to add here, that as I said earlier, there can be few of you guys who have already started coding and already clear with basics of some or the other language. So actually you guys can skip the starting portion of this program, because repeating that thing again, it's going to be very much boring. If like later when we go with the topics of DSA, if you have already done array or string, then then later we will have stacks and queues. So from that, or whatever the portion which you have not yet done, you can continue the program from there, right? So I hope that you guys have understood whatever I meant to say. Those who have already done a certain portion of coding or basics of programming, you can skip the starting part of the program and continue from where you have not yet done the DSA. Okay, so I hope that you guys have understood. Okay, so this is actually the last like topic, that is touch typing. So I have like there can be a couple of people or few people who are coming here from the Merge Stack program also. So I've also earlier told about this there, that I actually practice touch typing. Means whenever I'm typing, I go for touch typing, and this was the like last record or highest record of mine till now, 77 words per minute. Right. So if you don't know, touch typing is nothing but like typing without looking at your screen. Okay, so it's pretty much like beneficial or very much advantageous in whatever doing. So you guys are like software developers, and we have to constantly be on our laptops, right? So when you will be guys seeing a tutorial or YouTube video of any sort, then you will be looking at three different locations, we can say, which can be your mobile screen and keyboard and the laptop screen. But if you have pretty good practice of this typing, you will have to just look at two different things, that is your laptop and mobile screen, and it will drastically decrease your amount of time wasted and increase your productivity, right? So I would like you guys to also start touch typing. You can have a like a little bit of practice on various websites which are already available on Google and all on your browser, so you can use them. And the few important things about touch typing or advantages is that, of course, once you get the habit of touch typing, then without even any explicit practice, your speed goes on increasing throughout your life, right? Because of course you don't have to practice whatever you are coding. You will be coding or writing whatever emails or and all in your office days also. Then you will be using touch typing, right? So that's one thing very much important. Yes, one more thing is remaining, that if you guys know about GitHub, so it is actually used for version control. Now what is version control is again like pretty technical stuff, so we won't go deep into it. I want you guys to go on any of your browsers and type their GitHub, and you have to log in or sign in using GitHub if you not have done that yet. Okay, so just create your account on GitHub and also on LinkedIn if you have not done that also, right? So these two things are very much important for software developers, right? So you have to create your accounts here. So I think that we are done with all I wanted to say. Okay, and we will be starting from Monday, and I hope that you guys stay with me, right?